Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Saturday, July 16th, 2022, a little after 3 p.m. Eastern. The law of detachment means that in order to acquire anything in the physical universe, you have to relinquish your attachment to it. This doesn't mean that you give up your intention to create your desire. You don't give up the intention, and you don't give up the desire. You give up your attachment to the result. Deepak Chopra. The Buddha once said, attachment leads to suffering. What he meant by this was that whenever we become attached to a desire, belief, thought, feeling, or anything for that matter, we needlessly suffer. The suffering arises because attachment is an energy born on certain desires, because deep down we believe we need to manifest them in order to feel safe, happy, secure, and loved. The overly tight grip on life simply means we are not feeling the natural connection in our hearts to the great healing source and spirit within ourselves. As long as the mind continues to circulate in this vicious attachment dilemma, we can never truly relax and fully access this ever-expanding, all-loving spiritual source that radiates at our very core. Whenever happiness is determined by any thought, feeling, or external event, then we become a slave to it, and the great egoic cycle of suffering begins. Expectations and disappointments are great examples of how attachment leads to suffering. If the big desire we had today manifests or doesn't manifest, it then becomes the main leading cause of our happiness and unhappiness. The very instant we become attached to a thought, we end up forgetting about love, joy, freedom, and the endless possible things we can be thankful for. The grip onto any thought narrows and eventually blocks our energy, creativity, and vibration, so we cannot perceive any new ideas or options available. So perhaps you're asking, how can we be passionate about our desires in this life and yet approach them in a non-attached, easygoing way? Well, the secret is the middle path. If we are too attached or too unattached to our desires, they won't manifest. We must choose to hold the baby bird in our hand, not too tight, or it will suffocate it, and not too loose, or it will fly away. The real secret is finding out natural connection, our natural connection to Source that is always coming from trust and is free from worry and fear. Our desires have this natural tendency to manifest faster than the speed of light when we are walking down the middle of this road. Attachment is a habit that we learned from society. We are suffering because we are gripping too tightly or too loosely onto our thoughts. The mind gets hooked into beliefs that say, I don't have the money, knowledge, power, energy, information, or understanding to manifest what I desire. Or the mind cannot hold long long enough onto the idea and feeling that I do have the money, knowledge, power, energy, information, or understanding to manifest what I desire. Whatever we believe is what we create. And thus we manifest this amazing, effortless, manifesting adventure or a perpetual daily struggle to survive. It's not about getting what you want. It's about wanting what you've got. It's not about getting what you want. It's about wanting what you've got. Cheryl Crow. The Buddha always said that the secret to enlightenment is finding the middle path. To find the middle, we must choose to look within ourselves, stepping out of the periphery and towards our total center. The real work we are here to do is not just on the outer world, yet also the inner. All our outer struggling is a pointer directing us back inside suffering. It is a great teacher showing us where not to go and what not to do anymore. Pain is like a hot poker directing us to back off and to rest inside until we are finding the middle path. When we listen to our bodies, we can naturally find a way to loosen or tighten our grip on life. And then this ultimate freedom simply finds us. It's quite magical how it all unfolds. The universe rewards us when we truly trust in it. If you want to see if you're too attached to a thought, just notice what's happening in your body whenever the mind becomes overly attached to any idea. A tension in the body forms. And when we think that thought, the more tension we have in our body, the less receptive we become to allowing that desired outcome into our lives. The mind tends to be a cling master, an ultimate skeptic of life. It hasn't learned how to trust life. And so we need to retrain it. Whenever the mind thinks this universal power is not real, permanent, and trustworthy, we need to remind it that it is. When we can stop clinging to thoughts, things, feelings, people, and memories, we will begin to trust the universe. The universe will provide all our needs. We can stop working so hard. We can retire our illusions and take a rest from our daily worrying and fears. We can use our precious time appreciating and basking in the divine source that is already here now. Challenges are what make life interesting. Overcoming them is what makes life meaningful. Joshua Ray. So if you will, explore a powerful healing exercise right now. This is a great exercise and can actually be a lot of fun to do. It will give you instant clarity on how to find your middle path. Write down every belief that you think is causing you suffering. Take a closer look at what you are deeply attached to having, being, or doing. Find out what are the things, beliefs, judgments, and opinions that your mind is currently attached to. It may take a few weeks to completely unravel yourself. You keep looking, and continuously searching for what is the root cause of your suffering. Discover exactly what are you desiring that you think will give you complete freedom, love, abundance, or satisfaction. Research yourself deeply and explore the truth of who and what you are. Find out what societal belief habits you've been programmed with. Make a list. Check it twice. Find out exactly where and when you've been naughty or nice. Upon deeper investigation into yourself, you'll discover that the mind only becomes attached to certain thoughts that it feels are lacking from inside. Meaning deep down inside, the person who has 3 master's degrees and 2 PhDs is some attachment to the belief that they are stupid and unintelligent. If a person is a workaholic, always seeking to attain more money, it means deep down they feel a great fear of being poor. That person feels they have to protect themselves from poverty by building up huge resources in their bank accounts. The more money a person needs to accumulate, the deeper the wounding is around feeling worthy, abundant, and secure inside. When we look deep, long, honest enough inside ourselves, we see that this pendulum swing is always the case. After you've got your list of thoughts that cause you suffering, and you still don't know how to transcend them, it's time to take a more spiritual route. Imagine what it feels like to be connected, resting, and in perfect union with the divine infinite source inside. Behind every negative belief is a positive one. And lurking beneath both of these beliefs is the secret to being free. When we find the middle path to this life, we start appreciating everything again. When we can trust and naturally relax, we will start basking in the magical divine source that is already here now. Remember, you are always connected to a source of infinite power and energy. There is an eternal, internal love source inside you. And this is the only place you can find true, everlasting security. Come to know and trust deep down that you have the God-given power to manifest the life of your dreams. It's vital to understand that the mind has been greatly misguided. It has been fed beliefs that simply are smaller truths. The greatest truth of all is the one that will liberate you on every level. It's the one that doesn't need to believe anything. It knows the feeling of real sustainable success cannot come from striving, reacting, and trying to attain a bigger and better outcome. Remember, most people in the Western world are wrapped up in this striving belief system. So watch out for this social hypnotism. It's a mass manipulative belief disease going around. The desiring dis-ease is very prevalent out there. And believing what other normal people believe is the main reason why your mind continues to fall again and again and again back into the experience of suffering. If one advances confidently in the direction of his dreams and endeavors to live the life which he has imagined, He will meet with the success unexpected in common hours. Henry David Thoreau. Releasing attachment, right? It's like it's an exercise. It's when you're ready to liberate your mind from your list of attachments. I invite you to do this little exercise. Do it before you go to bed tonight. And read through it again when you wake up in the morning. Imagine in your right hand is a deflated orange balloon, which is attached to a string. Put the string in your left hand. Start blowing all your attachments, problems, issues, and worries into this huge balloon. You have a magical breath that can breathe the thing or thought you are attached to right out of your body. The more attachments you put in, the bigger the balloon becomes. When you have emptied yourself completely, the balloon automatically closes its valve and you let go of the string. It begins to float straight up into the sky. Watch it move far away from your life. Notice if there are areas in your body where you feel a release from the attachment. In these places, imagine breathing in a warm, golden, healing light. Feel the sense of relief and lightness in your body. Now that you are free from all attachments, worries, concerns, right now. Take several minutes after you have done this exercise to allow this lighter feeling to reach every cell of your body. Relax into your body and into the spiritual being you truly are. Know what you are. Know that you are infinite, eternal, and will never die. Be aware of this freeing eternal feeling throughout your day, and you'll soon begin to experience a tremendous shift in your ability to effortlessly manifest the life you desire. If you're still looking for that one person who will change your life, take a look in the mirror. So if you will, go in the place where you're not going to be interrupted, and I'm sure we all are. And the first thing that we care to do is relax these bodies. Since we are not the body, we are not the character, we are not the personality, we are not our name, we are not our status in this life, we are the God within the body. We should be very familiar with how the body absorbs everything, all the emotions, stresses, anxieties, fears, worries, on a daily basis. Might be minute-to-minute basis. You just never know. The moment we enter the baby body, it begins. Now, in the beginning, we don't have any fear, do we? Nope. Think about this now. We have zero fear when we enter these baby bodies. There's no fear. There's no worry. There's no stress. There's no anxiety. There's no anger. There's no hatred. There's no greed. Now, what happens to us as time goes by? We become conditioned by others. You see, when we're children, we have no limitations, do we? But the longer we stay in these bodies, the more we pick up of limitations. That's not possible. I can't do it. Can't be done. This won't work. And it just goes on and on and on. Do we inherit that? Maybe in some ways. But it's what we're told. It's how we're programmed. This is about the best way you can look at it. We come in, we're a clean slate. We start getting programmed. Everything changes. It's what our parents tell us, right? First thing, isn't it? It's first thing. And so we start picking up things. Now, if you take your hand and you don't know that that stove is hot and you have no fear, well, you're going to put your hand on that stove, right? And if the whole stove is hot, you're going to burn your hand. And that automatically teaches you, don't put your hand on the stove or it will burn you. So certain things that we're taught to protect ourselves. But the things that we pick up emotionally, where people think they aren't good enough, they aren't powerful enough, they're minuscule, weak, powerless, undeserving. Where does all that come from? Where does all that come from? Programming. It's how we are programmed. That's exactly what happens to every single one of us. We become programmed. We're like these super magnetic sponges, and we're absorbing everything. It's like a kid in a candy store. We want everything, right? So as we get programmed, what happens? Well, we form our personality, our character, and then it's on from there. So it's like someone says to you, how do you know that this is possible? Right? And you say, I just do. Well, how do you know you do? I just do. Nothing complicated about it. Why do we worry? Okay? We're programmed to worry, stress, and fear because we're programmed through the ego mind. Now, when you focus on your breath, easy and slowly in through the nose and easy and slowly out through the mouth, and you focus on the breath, you move yourself into the now. Every time. Without fail. And what this does is that it stills the ego mind and subconscious mind. It stills them. You're not interacting with them. And the now, no matter how much the ego mind will argue with you, the now is all any of us will ever, ever, ever have. And yet, through the ego mind and programming, we refuse to stay in the now. You would think, wouldn't you, that with ourselves openly, we say, well, okay, so I engage the ego mind and the subconscious mind. I'm going to suffer because they will always be pushing me into yesterday or tomorrow, never the now, because they don't exist in the now. Why would they want us to be in the now? They wouldn't. So when we enter the now, everything goes silent. There's no mind chatter. There's 60,000 plus thoughts we put out every day. They're not there. Tens of millions and billions of programs that fly by like clouds in the sky, they're not there. Okay? Anger, stress, fear, worry, they're not there. Only in the material physical world, only under the mastership of the ego mind, are they there. And the interesting part for all of us, it's all an illusion. Every bit of it. But we've been so seduced into believing that the material physical world is real. And that's where we should spend most of our existence there, period. And the now, that's when we manifest whatever we choose. It's like a matter of fact. It isn't an overconfidence. It's just a knowing that, universe, this is what I want. Boom, 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 boom. Okay? And let it rip. Let it go. And then the universe will manifest it. It's already manifesting. As soon as you focus your intention on it, it's manifesting. And once each of us come to the full conclusion, it doesn't matter what is going on around you. That has nothing to do with you manifesting anything. It has zero to do with it. Now, we're trained to believe the opposite of that. Oh, it's got a lot to do with it. That's why I didn't get this, or this didn't manifest, or whatever. You're kind of like barking up the wrong tree when you enter the material physical world. So it's a total confidence in the now, undisturbed, going with the flow, stating your intent clearly, concisely, boom, and there it goes. And you might get into the understanding that, well, now I'm going to manifest this. I want this. And you ask yourself, why would I want this? What do I need this for? These are crucial elements that we miss. Is what purpose is this? Temporary happiness? Short fix? So we get to we embrace. What do we embrace? The unknown. That's where all possibilities are. We have confidence and trust in ourselves and the universe, so it doesn't waver. We don't say, oh, well, maybe the universe won't give this to me. It's immediate doubt, which then stops it. And see, the interesting thing is that we cannot not say we always are going to create and manifest. It's nothing that can be stopped. We will always manifest. We will always move energy into form, create it into reality, and experience it. That's eternal. Once you understand that fully, then you know the difference between trying to manifest something in the material physical world and then manifesting something in the now. Big difference, huge difference. Because there's no heavy attachments, there's no fears, worries, stresses, like, oh, well, maybe it won't happen. Immediately, see, we negate things that we put out as an intention to create. It's like we immediately cancel it as we're intending it, because we have those doubts. Okay? We're holding on to the bird so tight that it's smothering it. It'll kill the bird. Instead of loosely holding the bird. So when you intend something, you loosely hold it. That's it. You loosely hold it. Now the body, imperative to keep it stayed in a relaxation. Period. Focus on relaxing the body through the breath in the now. Because the body the natural state of being with these bodies is total relaxation. And I'm not talking about you're walking around bumping into walls like a wet noodle. I mean, you know that you're at ease. You're relaxed. You're in the now. You're not worrying, stressing, and fearing. Stress is the number one destroyer of these bodies on this planet. Does it make any sense for any of us to visit that at all? To visit any of it at all? You'll feel yourself drop into the heart-mind. Right? See, being in the heart-mind in the now, then you can master the ego mind and the subconscious mind because you're not entertaining them anymore. They're not in charge. You can watch what they do. You don't judge them. You watch what they do. You learn what they do. As you learn what they do, then you're able to pick up certain things. You say that's an ego thought or an ego mind thought. I don't care to entertain that. It'll pass through. Okay? Or that's an ego mind feeling. Right? I don't care to interact. I don't care to exchange with that. And it passes through. But the more we become aware, cognizant to the ego mind and what it does, the more we begin to master it. It's like you say to the ego, you see, eventually you'll be able to say to the ego mind, say, ego mind, I'm manifesting this. Everything is wonderful, fine, and secure and happy. Boom. And then see, eventually the ego mind will believe that. So it'll move out of insecurity, this constant insecurity, this constant wanting, having, and wanting. It will not be in that state anymore. And obviously, the more we stay in the now, the less and less the ego mind will play any role. Now, we all do the reminiscing, right? We all do. We have something, something comes over you, or you have an experience, or you're sitting, or you're talking with someone, or you're listening to some music, and then this nostalgia comes in, this remembering something that you've experienced. And it's fun. You say to yourself, boy, I'd sure like to be able to do that again. Right? And we always can find ourselves standing in front of three paths. And the first one, the one in the center, is the now. Right? And the one on the left is yesterday or the past. One on the right is tomorrow or the future. Now, we look at these paths and we see how the trees have formed a golden canopy over each path. Shimmering leaves and branches and the bark of the trees, and it's all gold and shimmering. And then the path itself is a brilliant emerald green flaming grass. Now, we're curious, so we'll notice that the path on the left, the yesterday, is just really, really, really worn. And the one on the right, the future, tomorrow, is really, really, really worn. The now, the center path, looks brand new. And we know why. We know why. that's the way these paths are, is because the ego mind will do everything it can to keep us in yesterday or tomorrow, not now. But we'll go. See, we've got a subconscious mind, and it's a grand recorder. It stores everything, not just this lifetime, but every lifetime. Everything around you. As soon as you enter that baby body, it begins. And not only things that you directly experience, but everything around you is recorded. And it's stored in the great hall that we all have. And see, on occasion, what happens is that it will play back a recording. Now, it doesn't mean that we know this. We're caught off guard, and we experience something. And the experience is what? What is the experience? I've done this before. I know I have. And the interesting thing is that you have. And not necessarily, what was it? Is it this life? Was it last life? What life was? It doesn't matter. You just know that you have done it before. So see, to know this, you say, well, that's not a biggie. My subconscious mind is playing back a recording. Now, we'll go into the Great Hall. We'll open the door, turn on the light. Whenever you walk into a room, you will flash at the ceiling and the walls. Not necessarily meaning that you're aware of it, but you do it. Well, we do the same thing in the Great Hall, but the thing is that we don't see a ceiling or walls because it's so darn vast. Nevertheless, we'll go to some drawers, shelves, and we'll pick up some movies, some books, and pictures of past experiences in this life or other lifetimes. And we'll go sit in an easy chair, and we'll notice this like that's a white rectangle floating in the air. And we'll watch some of the movies, and we'll read some of the books, and we'll look at some of the pictures. Okay? And we'll have some fun. We'll even go across things that I remember doing this XYZ time ago, but when I tried it this way, it didn't work. So maybe if I try it this way the next time, it'll work. So we use a lot of interaction references, right? And we draw upon the past at times to remind us of the now. But we don't stay there. We will go and put everything away, turn off the light, shut the door, move forward in life, and on occasion, we'll revisit that. However, some of us, unconsciously, will stay there so long that we end up taking that past, bringing it into a future that doesn't exist, creating that future from that past, and reliving that past in that future. And this is why people will say no matter what we do, we always seem to end up here. Now, we all go into the future, yes, or tomorrow, right? Because we're poked, pulled, pushed, right? And sometimes we get anxious and we get stressful and we hurried. And we go into the future because we want to know things. And so we'll go to external authorities. And there's a lot of those. There's numerologists, astrologers, there's tea leaf readers, palm readers, pendulum readers, crystal readers, clairvoyants, psychics, card readers. So we'll go and we'll tell them, what would you like to know? And most people say, I'd like to know when I'm going to have enough money to enjoy my life. So they'll start doing their thing, and they'll give you the information. You will receive a windfall of wealth, money, in the next couple of weeks. It's going to come out of the clear blue, and you aren't going to even have a clue about when. Exactness, right? So you'll get responses to usually, a few responses. First one would be, I did this for fun. I have no belief in it, and I don't think that this would ever work anyway, no matter what they're telling me. And then you would have the other person, the next one, right? They just hook, line, and sinker embrace it, white knuckle grab it, and they put it in their calendar, and they start really heavy duty, start putting expectations. I mean, heavy ones, where they're white knuckling them, and attachments to the outcome of that happening. And this is all gripping and this is white knuckling, just grabbing onto it so tight that you smother it. Now, a third person, they'll be in deep gratitude. They'll take it. They'll make sure that it's as much detail as they believe that it should be with the universe. They've got total, complete trust and faith in themselves and the universe. They don't have any doubt. You see, sometimes you say, well, I don't have any doubt. I've got complete faith and trust. But the ego mind's there, and you can tell it's there, see. It's picking, trying to create doubt and fear and worry and stress. But when you'll truly know, when you don't have any, there's no bubbling, so to speak. It's just smooth as glass. And you know that it will manifest, and you've left it to the universe to the exact time, perfect timing that it will. Now, we have parts of ourselves, right? Some of the parts, the gods that we are in these bodies, are stone cold asleep. Now, we have other parts of ourselves that are consciously aware and awake to a certain extent. Consciously aware means that we literally know in our heart minds that we're of and from the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal love. So we deeply love all the parts of the gods that we are. The ones that are asleep, ones that are awake. Now, another thing that many of us are in tune with is that, see, we've been seduced into believing that we're separate, right? And people will say there's no way that they're one. How can they be one? It's like the cells in these bodies were, right? Do you really think there's any separation? Or is it one big system operating together as one? It's like one cell, right, is the body, right? That cell holds the essence of that body. body is the cell was the body. And the only illusion is separation. Why do you think that it seems to many of us, that we're constantly being misled, tricked by illusions all the time? And these illusions usually are superficial, and they're always dictating to us that we are separate. How do you keep an omnipotently powerful civilization from becoming aware that it is omnipotently powerful? By constantly creating the illusion of separation. That's how. That's why every time we bring it, we enter a new body, we start the journey, right? What is the journey? To rediscover who and what we are. Some have spent 10,000, tens of thousands of lifetimes, and they haven't discovered that yet. Now, when we look at this planet, the gods that we are within these bodies, right? And we say, let's clean the planet up. Don't you think that's a great idea? Let's eliminate all of the pure evil. Let's just evaporate it with pure, deep, eternal love. And so over 4 years ago, that's what we decided to do. And that's what's happening. And this shift, this transition from dark to light is in full swing. It's happening right now. And there's no escape from it. Pure, deep, eternal love. That's the highest of the highest high frequencies, which means pure evil cannot exist. Cannot exist. The higher frequencies we go to, the less dark matter has a hold. It all comes down to maintaining a higher frequency. And that is solely up to each of us. Now we're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. We're all one, and we're all God, and we're all love, and our God force love light energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it continues to intensify, grow, and expand. Now we form a white fire circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this sun. This emanates from the God source within each and every one of us. It's pure, deep, eternal love, the highest of the highest high vibrational frequencies. And it's saturating, permeating, and flooding this planet. All life, the highest supreme value in the universe, is infinity and beyond. So we begin to ascend above the planet. As we do, we are met by it's an ocean of glitter. And it's way beyond anything that we could depict here on this planet. We try to pick things that might come close to it. But in eventuality, we begin to understand that we, all of us, and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever, are the ocean and the glitter and the ocean. All the reflective points are the gods that we are. All the light, all the sparkling, all the expanse is the gods that we are in these bodies. So we go into these, it's kind of like, it looks like they're reflective, like little mirrors, but you can enter them. Once you enter them, you understand and you connect that we're all teaching each other. Every one of us, we're learning and teaching and teaching and learning. Non-stop, infinity and beyond. Now, if you're stuck in the physical material world, you probably won't see much of it. It'll pass you by. But if you decided to go within and start your journey within, you're going to see a lot of it. You're going to zero in on a lot of things that normally would have just passed you by. There is no random in this universe. It is all finitely engineered. You know, even walking along and there's one flower, like a wildflower sticking up, that your attention is drawn to. Oh, look at that flower all by itself. It is a lesson. Or your dog, your cat, your bird. Could be anything. And it's constant. It's not once in a great while. It's constant. Whether someone walks into your life for 20 seconds can change everything for you, or as simple as a bird flying overhead in the sky. Always learning. And say, you remember when you were a kid? And did you ever look at something and you just blurted it out? I'd like to be that. I want to be that. And we can all do that. You know, we can focus on the now with our breath. Be still. And we can look at something that we wonder what it would be like to be that something, whatever it is. And for a brief moment, we'll know exactly what it's like to be that. Now, we create light, the gods that we are in these bodies. We create different forms of it to remind us, okay, since we do have a little amnesia. And, you know, we're met with a omnipotently powerful emerald green flaming healing light Archangel Raphael brings in, right? And this is to remind us, the gods that we are within these bodies, that we are the power of healing these bodies. Then we are met with Archangel Michael, who's carrying a violet, blue, purple flaming light, which reminds us, the gods that we are, of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. Then we're met with the white fire. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all that from head to toe, inside and out, 24/7, infinity and beyond, we are protected from all lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies, pure evil, souls that have taken in too much darkness, rogue AI goop by maintaining that high frequency, they can't maintain their form. They'll either vaporize or have to leave and stay away. No demon possessions, no attachments, no influences from pure evil, nothing. Ever. As long as you maintain that frequency. Now, if you decide to lower your vibrational frequency low enough, consciously or unconsciously, through hatred, greed, anger, revenge, manipulation, dishonesty, worry, stress, fear, envy, hurry, all of that, you'll create a breach in your Wildflower armor, allowing all the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. Then there's possibilities. There's demon possession, there's attachment, there's many other things. Now, if you do decide to do this, we have fail-safes. So we have a double column of light. First part of the column is the violet, is the purple transmuting flame. Right? This reminds us we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute all these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance, sending them to pure consciousness where they are no more. Second part of the column is the violet ray. This reminds us that we can bring in the violet ray right behind the purple transmuting flame, cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our Wildflower armor and restoring our vibrational harmony to the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. We're then met with the golden white pink light. This is a column of light that the gods within these bodies that we created to remind us all that we are the sun, the sunlight. We are the rain and the rainbows. We are the sunsets and the sunrises. We are the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams, the trees, the forests. We're everything. Everything is us. So the next time, and this is through the heart mind, the next time you see a sunset, sunrise, rainbow, you look at it and say, that's the God that I am. Through the ego mind, we would say, because we believe we're separate, that's beautiful. Look at that sunset. I get a picture of it. But when we discover that we are all one, that is the God that I am. Now we continue to ascend above the planet. Some of us step outside our physical form that are carrying physical form and hover effortlessly above it. The reason we do this is because it's really, really fun and we can. We come into contact with a massive crystalline light tower. We, the gods in these bodies, created this tower, larger than the solar system and beyond. In the center of the column is this massive oblong sphere. In the center of the sphere is a golden white bowl of light. It in turn is surrounded by numerous multicolored rings of light that seem to go to infinity and beyond. This in turn creates a super bright, sparkling cloud, and it's absorbed through our heart mind. And it feels like a warm embrace that never ends. Now we discover that the golden white bowl of light is the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal love. Then comes gratitude and well-being and gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness. Bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, massive prosperity, and massive abundance. And we discover that all this is a reflection of the gods that we are within these bodies. Now, we designed the gods that we are within these bodies, this crystalline tower at the top, so the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees, 24/7, infinity and beyond. What is the golden ocean? Pure, deep, eternal love, the highest of the highest high vibrational frequencies. We, all of us, are drops of this golden ocean. We also hold the essence of this golden ocean. Golden ocean is a drop, drops of the golden ocean. And the only illusion is separation. Now we see our meditative sphere. We, the gods that we are in these bodies, created this sphere over 4 years ago. It's moving towards 1,900 of our meditations in perpetual motion. Hundreds of millions of us on and off world, consciously aware. Complete liberation of this planet. The elimination of pure evil. You realize that every day, 7 days a week, for over 4 years, we have been saturating this planet nonstop, infinity and beyond, the complete liberation of pure evil from this planet permanently. That's why this sphere can be seen, heard, and felt, and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. This is why it continues to grow, intensify, and expand. Now you can look and see what's happening. You can go through the heart-mind, focus on your breath, in the now, and be a watcher. Because you see what we, the gods, have created in this atmosphere on this planet is a golden white pink light. It is the purest of the purest, purest, deepest of the deepest, deepest, highest of the highest, highest eternal love. And you see everywhere on this planet this goop. It's a dark matter, and it's blacker of the blackest black that you've ever seen. But yet it's evaporating from the planet. Everywhere you're looking, you see it evaporating. It's going into this golden white pink light atmosphere, and you see these flashes. And it's disintegrating. And we put up a golden white pink, like a skylight, right? And so as this dark matter continues to evaporate from the planet, any remnants that gets to the sky is finally done in one flash, permanently vanished. This won't end. This isn't temporary. This is ongoing. This is after everything has been liberated. This will continue because we will continue, and we will continue to increase our vibrational frequencies. You know, you go from, it's up to each of us to do this. And knowing who and what we are, the gods within the body, and maintaining a higher vibrational frequency. So you go from 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 to 7 to 8 to 9 to 10 to 11 to 12 to 13 to 14 to 15 to 16. It's infinity and beyond. And when you get acclimated enough to know there's no limitations on the frequencies that we can create. The basic struggle of your life in its essential nature is divine. Respect the struggle and it will relax. Then you will see the real beauty of your being. Notice today that it is that you are continuously struggling against. What is it? Take about 3 minutes and let go of any agenda you have that is causing any sort of internal battle. No matter how important it seems, explore what it feels like for a few moments to be free from it. Releasing is an absolutely effortless process. There is no efforting to letting go. Just set the intention to release the struggle and let the universe handle the details. I'll join you in the meditation and I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose, and an easy and slow breath out of the mouth, and be still. You ever noticed how your mind is a relentless, thinking, striving, demanding machine? It is always busy, always attempting to create a new you. The ironic thing is that with all this busyness, there's never enough time to stop and experience the real infinite you. So randomly today, be aware of the entertaining thoughts your mind focuses upon. Whatever your stories are about, your past and future, do not buy into them. For today, see how long you can actually remain in the present moment of now and let your mind totally relax. What will it take until all of your internal dialogue stops and the suffering is released? Your body-mind will naturally find this peaceful relaxation when you are giving 100% of yourself to this experience of life, right here, right now. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, the following morning, and we will return here Sunday, July 17th, 2022, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation